Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, no matter what time you are joining us. This is The Vibe. Welcome. I am Yvonne Myles, and I am the founder of Vibrantly Living You. I like to think of Vibrantly Living You as a health and wellness movement that is dedicated 100% to helping you find health so vibrant, it's as though you're aging backwards. It's a beautiful day today, and I love it. The sun is shining, it's low humidity, we've got clear skies, and really mild temperatures. It's just beautiful. I just love it. Did you see what I did there? I was just expressing some really authentic gratitude, appreciation, and love about, well, in this case, the weather. But I gotta tell you, it made me feel better. I feel like I just got a nice little microdose of dopamine, which is that feel good transmitter or hormone in the body. And that is one of the tools that we have at our disposal for feeling better, for healing ourselves in the moment, and even for long term. And that is what the vibe is all about. Each week, we show up and we share interesting ideas and perspectives. We connect new thoughts, create new ideas. We welcome experts into our space. And hopefully, we're creating some inspiration for you to lead yourself into a path of vibrant, pulsating energy that helps you look and feel as though you're aging backwards. And when we're talking about pulsating energy, you know, the best way to focus in on that is to focus on the body's own natural design for energy, its own blueprint. And I'm talking about the chakra system. Today, we are spending a little more time with the throat chakra. The throat chakra, that's chakra number 5. And why? Well, the throat chakra is what governs our energy of expression, our communication, our ability to stand in our truth, to ask for what we need, to speak our truth, and to be authentically ourselves. And when you are standing in your authenticity, thank you, throat chakra, Vishuddha, then you are able to express the energy of confidence. Now, if that's not something that you can immediately do or do on a regular basis, then you may be blocking yourself from authentic expression. And whenever we've learned here in the vibe from so many of the people that we've brought on and spoken with, that when you block your natural energy, then you're setting yourself up for stress and for illness and for disease. And I'm just curious, any of you who may be watching now, or maybe you're catching the replay later on, if you have ever been in a position where you have felt that you can't speak out about something that's bothering you, or you can't really ask for what it is that you need, and then what have you felt as a result of that? Is it stress or distress? Stress, distress, or maybe it's a stomach ache or irritability. If that has ever happened to you, then share a little with us. Drop a line in the chat and let us know that's something that's real for you. And actually, you can do me another solid. If you wouldn't mind, like this page, give us a thumbs up on this page, Vibrantly Living You. We would really appreciate that support. Now, one of the areas that so many of us struggle with is connecting to our own authenticity, to be able to attract or magnetize meaningful, deep, loving relationships into our lives. If that's you, then you're going to love who I have invited to the Vibe for this week. Let me bring her on. Her name is Junie Moon, and I am over the moon that she is here with us today. Hi, Junie. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself, and I'm going to still give you an introduction. Just wave and say,
Over the moon. Hello, hello. That's so great. Let's have some fun and let's be authentic and express.
yes, 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 yes. So let me tell you about Junie Moon. Junie Moon, the love coach, teaches women in midlife how to magnetize their ideal partner and experience next level love. I'm up for that. Using her unique heart centered dating strategies that she couples with powerful mindset tools, she helps people magnetize the love of their lives, and she helped magnetize the love of her life. So she's speaking from experience here. And women will learn to embrace this very precious stage of life with confidence, with playfulness, and with ease. Junie is an award-winning international speaker, a #1 Amazon best-selling author of Loving the Whole Package, Shed the Shame, and Live Life Out Loud, Midlife Love Out Loud, and a certified shadow work facilitator. She's also, she is the host of the podcast Midlife Love Out Loud. She's a podcaster. She's my model, my role model in so many ways. And she is a certified shadow worker. So you can find her at coachjuniemoon.com. We'll share some links later on to make sure that you can connect with Junie. But Junie, once again, welcome. Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here, and I'm just sitting back and basking in your energy and your vision and your vibrancy. I'm so thrilled to be playing with you in the sandbox today.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Playing in the sandbox. That's perfect. You know, when we were talking about the heart chakra, I initially wanted Junie to come on and talk to us, and schedules didn't work out. But she said, "Well, Yvonne, love is there's a something around expression. It all relates." And so, thank you for helping me expand my mind about that. Yes, yes. So first of all, just a little bit about you. What led you into working as a love coach?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just say, for those of you that are watching, definitely post questions. I'll be looking at the comments, and even if it's a replay, you can do hashtag replay so we know that you caught the video. And it's for all your relationships, because at the end of the day, whether it's a relationship with a partner, a relationship with colleagues or your kids, it really starts with you getting in alignment. So I love that you're talking about chakras, and the fifth chakra is definitely so huge when it comes to deep connections and authenticity. So we will get there. So how did I become a love coach? When I track back my life, and I've done this recently, like, wait a second, as far back as I can remember, love and connection has always been, just the most important part of my life. Connecting with others, brightening people's lives up, and having relationships. I've always loved relationships, but I was never really good at it. I mean, I was good at sharing my love, but I was also very codependent. I was also trying so hard at being a people pleaser because I had all these messages, all these experiences in my life that laid down this foundation of beliefs that kept me from really opening up. And if you relate to that, give us a I know your pain in the comment box about not being able to really be me. I was always working so hard and walking on eggshells. In fact, in my marriage of 20 years, which did end, I did walk on eggshells, and on a regular basis. I had knots in my stomach, but I also had my throat really tight on a regular basis because I was afraid of really expressing myself. I had a belief that if I really expressed myself completely, that I'd be rejected. I wouldn't be seen in the way that I wanted to be seen. I might risk conflict or all the things that we're afraid of. And so the long story short is I had a life just like you with experiences that had me not relaxing and being me, which then affected my relationships. And so, lack of intimacy, lack of getting my needs met, feeling so alone. I gained a ton of weight. So I know this is going to relate to a lot of the people here. I was 200 pounds about, I don't know, 18, 19 years ago. And that was rock bottom for me. And I realized I was using food to get me through. That was my safe place. So big wake up call, found this body of work called shadow work, life transforming. And I found myself, I got grounded, got clear, and I got better, a ton better with relationships. And I knew I wanted to take this message out to everybody, especially women that are starting over, that it's not too late. In fact, it's even better in midlife because you know yourself, you know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, you work with me. But if you don't know what you want, I mean, excuse me, if you do know what you want, you could see what happened in the past and go, yeah, I'm not doing that again, and really start fresh. So that's my passion. My passion is love, because at the end of the day, this world needs a shit ton more of love. Hope that was okay to drop an S bomb. And the more we open up our hearts, the more we can be authentic, more healing across the board. So I stand for love. That's why I do what I do.
Ah, there was so much there. Oh my gosh, so much there. I wanted to just connect to how you were talking about how you felt, your throat would constrict while you were in your marriage and you were walking on eggshells, and that made me think of how many times whenever I have um, felt like I can't speak out, I have to hold something back. How I get, or I'm fearful. Maybe I'm going to say something, but I'm fearful. How I get that tightness here, and I get that hard swallow. You know,
Ah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, that's another clue that it's, throat chakra. Thanks for
Yep.
also mentioning the shadow work aspect of it and the food. I often say that our two biggest tools in our toolbox for vibrant health are nutrition and movement. And that's because they link to just about everything else. The other elements are connecting, having loving relationships, taking care of yourself, and being outside. That's why I started with, I love being outside. I love this day. I was connecting with the outdoors. So thank you also for bringing in the shadow side of not speaking your truth. It can be that going after food for comfort, and not having the ability to speak up for yourself and take care of yourself for your health. So I just wanted to connect some of that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. That was great. And yeah, so we can feed ourselves great nutrition. We could know all the ways to feed ourselves with great nutrition. We could be doing exercise. And why doesn't it last? Why do we self sabotage? Why do we feel like we can't really have success with sustainable weight loss, vibrancy, whatever, fill in the blank? That's what I did. I was up and down the scale, 40, 50 pounds at a time. And I thought, well, why, what's wrong with me? I know all this stuff about nutrition. Why do I keep slipping? And the bottom line is, there's another piece, there's another layer, which is what's between our ears. Because what's between our ears and all of the experiences that have had us put something in shadow being the part of you that you've said, oh, I can't be like, there's something wrong with me. Oh, I better not show that part of me. We take that energy and we go, okay, let me just throw it back there in shadow. I'm not going to look at it. But then we're losing access to who we are and our fullness. So yeah, when you shine a light on that and you go, oh, wait a second, what's that? Or, oh, I have a behavior that's getting in my way. Why am I acting this way? Why am I saying things in this way? It's because you've been hurt, you've been shamed, you've had an experience, and now you're coming from this place of woundedness or experiences from the past, all in the background noise in your brain. And we need to shine a light on that so you can heal.
Yeah, yeah. Not being your true self. That's what's happening. Not being your true self.
Yeah.
that leads to that sabotage. So, for the most part, or I know I started out in this work with a desire to primarily serve women, and yet I have some men who are there on the edges listening in. And so I just want to ask, just very quickly, does your program work for people who are currently in a relationship, or for people who are looking for one? And then secondly, is it primarily for hetero couples or same-sex couples? That's actually two questions.
It's great, and those are great questions. So I do a bunch of different things. I mean, I have my specialty is helping people transform their lives. Okay, so let's just put that out there. What's getting in your way? Why are you not having great relationships? Why are you sabotaging? Let's figure that out. So yes, the answer is yes. I work with people that are in relationships as well as people that are single. So my year-long program, Midlife Love Mastery, that's for single women that are typically 45 to 65, give or take, that want to find their divine right partner, want to put themselves out there, but are scared for multiple reasons, thinking they're too old, thinking that they don't want to be betrayed again, they don't want to lose somebody again, whatever it is. And so people that really need the inner healing, inner work to release it and have that confidence and clarity and new tools to be able to feel strong and ready for next level love, and also dating tips and tools to streamline the dating process to have more success, because it's exhausting if you don't know what you're doing, and and it's a lot of time and energy, and then people go, I'm giving up. But no, there's just because there's just tips and tools. So a large part of the work I do now in my year program are for single women. With that said, I do workshops and these trainings that are for everybody. And I even have one coming up in a few weeks, and it's like how to handle rejection, how to boost your confidence so you can feel stronger expressing yourself and feel safer expressing yourself and being yourself. So I have different events, and hetero mostly. However, I work with everybody, whatever the path is, but typically my groups are hetero, almost always just women, and men will find me and I work with them individually. So
Hmm.
relationships across the board, just depends on where you fit. That was a
Sure.
long answer.
No worries, no worries. And I mean, the bottom line to me is, if you're talking about um, confidence and connecting, how do you connect to somebody else? Then, I can see that it can work across the board. So anyway, I just wanted to get
Right.
that out there. So
Yeah.
in a way, you've answered some of this, but I'll ask it anyway in case you come up with something else. What changes have you seen in yourself as a result of your work, but more importantly, in your clients?
Yeah. Well, I've kept off 50 pounds for over 18 years, which is a friggin' miracle.
Oh,
I never thought I would be able to keep it off and not be struggling with it. So that's a huge shift. And I know that speaks to a lot of people here. And it's shifted my ability to show up and have deep intimacy and connection with all my beloveds. My mother is my best friend. And when I tell you, I wanted to kill her most of my life. I didn't want anything to do with my mom, and I friggin' love her. I didn't want to kill her, but I did want to distance myself. And now I can't get enough of her. So lots of healing that had to do with me, bringing all that into the work that I do. Now, what my clients find is way more confidence and comfort in being themselves. That's why my book is called Loving the Whole Package. It's really about calling back all those pieces behind us that were like, oh, don't be like this, don't be like this. It's like being able to just embrace all of who you are so that you are relaxed and you're able to express yourself honestly, clearly, comfortably. And what happens then? My clients are having better conversations, healthier relationships, more intimacy, because if you're hiding, you can't connect. And so the women that I work with across the board say they just have a just more self-esteem and the ability to really stand their ground, have healthy boundaries, to not let people walk over them, to not give away their power. That, it's just they such deep self-care,
Mm,
radical self-care,
mm,
and respect for themselves. So overall, what I see is lots of self-love. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, self-love, self-love. It is. It's like, if we can't love ourselves, if we can't respect ourselves, how on earth are we going to see it in another person or stop it if something's going on that's not comfortable for us? So we start with us, and the women really thrive in embracing all of who they are. It's so magical. And of course, if you're single, women are getting amazing relationships in a very different way.
yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You know, as you were describing that, I was going to say it's an amazing transformation. And then you said self-care. And that's, I just love how, in a way, those are, so both of them are so important. An amazing transformation that happens. And then you're right, when you take care of yourself first, it's just like what they tell you on the airplane, take care of yourself first before you help others. And if you can't see the beauty in yourself, the lovingness in yourself, the worthiness in yourself, then you're going to be a wounded unit, as I like to say, in interacting with other people.
Yeah.
Did you just say you were just describing what was in your book, right? What?
Loving the whole package. Yeah, I was just saying that in the book, I go over the major reasons we self-sabotage, the major reasons we hold ourselves back and have the behaviors like overeating, over sexting, whatever it is, or sexing, whatever it is. Like, why are we not living the fullest, most vibrant life that we can? And
Mhm.
so in the book, I go over those parts, and then I, with my story and with all these different tools in the book, people can reclaim that. And so it's it's not even an overview, it's a deep dive into the tools of shadow work and a reclamation for sure.
Okay, thank you for that. And I was just asking so that I can make sure I put a link to it in it afterwards. So, uh,
Yeah.
loving the whole package. Woo! Gosh, you're bringing
Yeah.
so
And
much.
the subtitle is Shed the Shame and Live Life Out Loud, because we have accumulated all these messages that have us feeling shame about parts of our body, parts of our personality, being told you better, tone it down, otherwise you're going to be considered a bitch, or you're too much, or, oh, you're a little too full of yourself. And anybody that's watching, what might be something that you've been told that shamed you, put it in the comment box. I would love to know, because
Yeah.
those are some of mine.
Yes, lots of stuff there, Junie. Thank you, thank you. So, how would you go about connecting the dots between authentic expression, love, and vibrant health?
Yeah. Well, if you don't know what's blocking you, if you don't know what I call the creepy crawlies, or some people call them ants, automatic negative thoughts.
Ooh.
If you're not aware of them and they're lurking, they're going to knock you down and keep you from expressing your truth. So we need to clean that up. First, awareness is the first step, is awareness. I call it my triple A. First, there's awareness. Then there's it's funny, I haven't revisited, so I hope I can pull it out of the archives. The three A's: awareness, action, and, oh my God. Oh no, awareness, and then allowing yourself to feel it, allowing yourself to be with the fact that you've had some things go on and they've hurt. And sometimes we have to drop into our hearts and go, wow, somebody actually said, your thighs are like thunder thighs, which is what happened in my 20s, and made me feel like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with me. And then to take action, which is whether it's mentorship, whether it's movement, whether it's learning how to undo. So to have better relationships, to be able to have a better relationship with your body and your health, it really does start with getting clear about who you are and what's most important to you, and being able to really stand in that, to
Mhm.
really put a stake in the ground and go, this is who I am, and I'm not going to abandon my truth. And when you have that, then it all just kind of works out.
Mhm. And so that's what I'm finding myself pivoting toward in Vibrantly Living You, is that helping people stand up in their own self leadership. Because we're all
Yeah.
leaders, and everything that you've said is about, well, staking that ground, standing on that ground of truth, and that takes leadership, and that leadership doesn't come from outside of ourselves; it comes from deep within. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So can a relationship survive without regular, authentic expression?
It can survive, but it ain't gonna be pretty. I mean, let's be real. It's like if we're not really able to take down the mask and let people see us, intimacy, into me see. If we're blocking our beloved from really knowing our truth and really seeing us, there's a limitation to how deep you can go and how much fun you could have and how much you can expand on that relationship. So, sure, there's a lot of people in long term relationships and it's functioning and it might even be fine. And it might even give them a lot. The question is it extraordinary? Is it real? Is it deep? I truly believe our soul is craving depth, craving transformation and deep connection. And I also believe that it's in relationship that we do find the divine, that we can poke each other's buttons and grow together. And so if you're not being authentic, if you're not being real, and you're holding yourself back in that way, it's just going to limit what's possible for you, limit your capacity for joy. And yeah, you might even have a nice relationship, but
Yeah.
how much better can you stand it? That's the question.
Hmm. Girl, it just feels like you just opened the door to my past.
Mine too. Mine too. 20 years. It's like I look back at it and I'm like, there was a lot that worked. There was a lot that worked. There was a lot that I accepted that was not okay. There was a lot of behavior that was troublesome and concerning that had an impact on me. And yet I stayed until I woke up and said, wait a second, is this the kind of relationship I want for the rest of my life? Walking on eggshells, being so careful, not having the depth or the intimacy with this person. And sadly, he wasn't able and ready to go for the ride with me. And we're still close, thankfully. But yeah, I wasn't going to accept fine. And I wasn't going to accept limiting my possibility of having a beautiful, deep relationship.
Mm, mm. Yeah, not accept
Yeah.
fine, but going for the extraordinary and the divine. Ooh, yeah, yeah, lots to learn from
Yeah.
that. I love this. I love this. So now let me ask you, why is authenticity in relationships, why is it so difficult to achieve?
Again, it's all the stuff that we've picked up along the way, and may what I'm about to say help you and everybody that's listening take the shame off. Are you hearing that in the background? I have somebody doing the lawn right now. Is that okay?
I don't hear anything.
Great, great. Good. I'm glad I'm not on my other headset. Uh, so yeah, life happens. We had experiences that told us how to be, how not to be. Parents, well meaning parents, training us to fit into this culture, to be able to survive. And we're wired for survival. So we've picked up all these beliefs about how we're supposed to be or not be so that we're safe. And it works for us up to a point because we need to be safe and we need to survive, but it overshoots. And when it overshoots, it gets in the way of us being able to drop into being real. If you have a voice that's saying, oh, just don't even speak up because you have nothing to say. You're just gonna blow it like you did last time. Experience in the past where you might have expressed yourself and you got shut down. Maybe you open up your heart. See this so often with my clients. They come in and they're like, how do I open up my heart? I'm afraid to have what I just went through happen again, you know?
Mhm.
And so there's that part that needs to be unpacked. And then we need to rewire the brain because it's in the unconscious realm to be able to go, wait a second, the past does not equal the future. I can be conscious and choose differently. And then I can be real and authentic. But we can't really relax and be authentic when there's a part of us screaming in the background, be careful, be careful, be careful. So we need to unpack the past, reprogram, and then embrace now with new chops. And then you can really be you. Then you can really express yourself and not really give, two hoots about what people are going to think. And maybe it's a little uncomfortable. Maybe I'm like spitting on my face here. Maybe it's uncomfortable sharing certain things because of the past, but it's not going to keep you from sharing it. I get uncomfortable sometimes with the fear, oh, if I say this, it might cause some conflict with my partner. But the cost of not sharing it, I do not accept that anymore. I want extraordinary.
I'm so glad you're standing for extraordinary. I'm so glad you are truly, truly passionate and standing for that.
Thank you.
Mm. So, how is it that you guide your clients to be more at ease with being in authentic relationships? And I realize you might have just covered that about, getting them to unpack, but is there anything else that your clients need to know?
It is similar with what I just said. And, whenever I start with someone, it's like, what do you want? How do you want to be? What's important to you? And what are some of the behaviors? Oh, you overcompensate, you overgive, or, oh, you don't let anybody do things for you because on some level there's a message. If I better do it myself because I can't rely on people. There's all these nuances that get in the way of healthy relationships. So yeah, that's what I do is we pinpoint or we hone in on some of the behaviors and some of the things that aren't working. Again, unpack. Where did it come from? Oh yeah, dad was really abusive and he told me to just keep my mouth shut. And now I've been doing it in all my relationships. So we need to do some daddy work so that you can find your power and find your strength and get, and feel strong within yourself. So that's how I help people really drop in and feel good about this moment in time and to move forward knowing that it can be different, like truly knowing it can be different.
I can see how this has and will have such a deep impact on people about unpacking those big things, but then looking for those nuances, the
Yeah.
the tricky little ants.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. And a friend of mine recently said to me, I need to do some coaching. And I have to tell you that when you told me you did shadow work years ago, I thought, oh my God, I'd love to do it, but I was scared to do it. And now she's doing it years later. And I'm thrilled. And, it reminded me that people get scared of looking at the past or unpacking the past. And what I want to just say to everyone that's watching is if you don't, what is the pain or the risk that you're facing if you don't? If you continue to do the behaviors, if you continue to hold yourself back, if you continue to block your heart and not open, there's another pain here. And so, yeah, it can be a little uncomfortable looking at some things, but I want to really, I'm just going to just look in the camera and just say, if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you don't heal those things that have happened, you're going to continue to limit what's possible for you. And so I invite you all to imagine what could possibly happen for you differently. And it might be like, oh, that's never going to happen for me. But take a moment and actually go, what might it be like to be able to really just be me? I couldn't even raise my hands in class when I got to high school. I was so scared of being tormented and bullied by the kids. I took all of that bullying fear into my adulthood, and I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid to, do presentations in front of people. Plunk me on a stage with thousands of people right now. Thank you. I'm in. Will I be a little nervous? Of course. But it's different. I'm not so terrified. I'm not so scared of what people are going to think. I'm just like, this is who I am, and I've got me to share. And in this day and age, I also want to say that it's really selfish to not do the work. What does that mean? If you don't do the work, you are not shining your brightest light. And that is keeping other people from seeing and benefiting from your gifts. So be selfless and work it so that you can show up vibrantly to everyone, especially to yourself.
If you're listening now, or if you're catching this replay later, and if something that Junie just laid down on us is pulling at you, first of all, tap on your heart, get it into your body, into your bones. Oh, I'm feeling that. And then give us a hearts up in the chat, please. Oh, I feel it's more than goosebumps. There's just, there's something going on right now. Ooh, I'm loving this energy that is coursing literally through my veins.
Yeah.
You just laid down some real truth there. Some real truth. Yeah. That you're holding yourself back, and by being selfish and not doing the work, but that also means you're holding back others from being able to benefit, for them to then grow and shine. And what a beautiful world it would be if everybody could get rid of the shame and get rid of the shadow.
Could you imagine if everybody was feeling better about who they are? I mean, like all the anger and all the bitterness and all the stuff that comes flying at us when we least expect it. Let's heal this planet by healing ourselves. Let's heal our communities by healing ourselves more than ever. I mean, everything that's been going on, I have to work harder, to be really honest. It's like, you talk about feeding ourselves. It's like, not always, I work on this to be conscious of what I'm feeding myself. Like even this morning, my partner was like, did you hear blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no, I don't watch the news. I don't want to feed myself that negativity, and it's going to come and I'm going to hear it. And I'm going to hear the important things, but I feed myself the best I can, things to lift me up, what I read, who's in my life, nature. We need to lift ourselves up because this world is suffering. We know it. People are suffering. We know it. And so let's clean our own houses, our hearts, our minds, and then go out in the world and clean it up, because we need to. We know it. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. We all know it. We all know it.
Yeah. And so many, easier said than done, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yeah. Junie, what do you love most about your work?
Oh my God, I love seeing people shine. I love seeing people have these ahas and suddenly go, oh my God, I just took really good care of myself. I went on a date, and typically I would have not said this, or I wouldn't have done this. And I just was able to just relax and have fun. And I have a second date. Or, you know what? I told him it wasn't a right fit, or I have this client right now that just fell in love with this amazing man. And she was having dating challenges for years, low self-esteem for years. And with working the inner, working what's between her ears and giving her some hot dating tips, she just met this really great guy. They're a few months in and they're having a blast, and she's so happy, and she has healthy boundaries. She's not doing the old codependent, I better worry about what he's going to think and if I do this. And so the list goes on, but my favorite thing is just seeing people really happy and living a life that they didn't know that they can live, and living in alignment with what's most important to them. So yeah, waking people up. waking people up to what is possible and seeing them step through the fire and through the door to their new life. That's what I love. That's what I love. I love it, love it, love it.
Can I give you just a little bit of advice, Junie? I really think
Sure.
you need to find a way to be a little bit more enthusiastic about what you
I
do.
know, I hear that all the time. I know. It's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I need to smile more. I need to be more passionate. It's a thing, it's a thing. And
Thank
this is what we're talking about. I am in alignment right now. I believe so strongly in my message. I know what's possible because I've been down in the trenches. I have been literally on my knees looking up to spirit going, why is this so hard? How could I be down the rabbit hole again? Why am I not taking care of myself and in that pain? And yeah, I still work it. It's layers. I'll be working until, I'm gone from this plane.
Yeah.
But that freedom, I'm not worried about people going, oh, she's too bright or too bubbly or whatever. It's like, okay, but I
Yeah.
will add something. If you see something in me that you want, that's called a golden shadow. You have it. If you spot it, you got it. And if you see something in me that's kind of annoying, like, oh gosh, she's just so vibrant and so bubbly, there's a shadow lurking that is telling you vibrancy and being bubbly is not okay. And where did you find that message? Where did you learn that? So, and whether you are admiring me or going, oh my God, any of those extremes, that's a clue that there's something to heal inside of you.
I started the vibe today by saying that we bring on interesting guests and we hopefully lay the ground for inspiration. And Junie, what you've been doing is laying these little breadcrumbs of inspiration and intriguing new perspectives and intriguing new ways of thinking about what's going on, between the
Yeah.
ears and behind the heart. Those little breadcrumbs, if somebody wanted to pick those up and follow you in some way, how would they do that? So that we can
Well,
put that into the comments after this video.
absolutely. I am kind of all over the place right now, which is cool. So you could always Google just Love Coach Junie Moon. I want to offer a gift to you guys because I have an ebook to help you identify like what's going on, like what's that inner critic about? Why do I beat myself up? What keeps me stuck when it comes to self-love and opening up more to what you want? And it's called Find Fabulous Love After 40. Now, it is written for women and written more for women that are single, but I'm telling you right now, it's for everyone that wants to feel better about love, loving yourself, and breaking some of the patterns. So I want to gift that to you guys. I hope that's okay. I don't know if we even talked
Sure,
about that.
of
And
course.
so my website is coachjuniemoon.com. So that's JUNIE. And if you do a / after coachjuniemoon.com and put in love workbook, you will be taken to a page where you can grab it. And it's 10 steps. It's a workbook, 10 steps to help you get much more clarity and a shift around these behaviors. And in it, I even offer an opportunity to speak with me after you do the workbook, to talk with me and talk about your results. And I'd be thrilled to support you. If you want to break through, it's a good place to start.
Oh, Junie, thank you so much for that very, very generous gift. We are going to make sure that we put coachjuniemoon.com / love workbook into the comments underneath this video so that you can go to that and get more of this absolute deliciousness. I so appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Well, it always comes around too soon, nearing the end of the vibe. So I just want to say once again, thank you so much, Junie, for joining us and enlightening us today.
Mm,
Truly.
thank you. It's so my pleasure. It's like my day is better today because I get to share this. truly, my energy is up. I'm happy and excited and just so thrilled to have this opportunity. Thanks for thinking of me. And yeah, and I will be looking at comments. So if you're watching the replay, just pop some things in there. We'd love to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Give us some love and like the page and hearts and all that stuff.
Like the page. I want to get some more page likes going here because I know people are out there listening and absorbing this. So let us know. Now, before I go, I do many times recommend a chakra food and a chakra move of a week. And that's because I say the two biggest tools in your toolkit are your nutrition and your food, your movement, I should say. They're really big tools, but I got to tell you, Junie, you really laid a really good argument for
all of the above, man. They all work together, because at the end of the day, if you're not eating the right food, or you're not moving your body, your brain is not going to be functioning, and you're not going to be able to be clear, and it's a package deal, man. It's a package
absolutely,
deal.
absolutely. And in my group program, my 9-month group program, Vibrant for Life, we cover 7 different areas in the space of the time that we have for the vibe. I'm primarily focusing on the nutrition and movement. But with that said, the chakra food for throat, to heal any irritation from the throat, I'm gonna call it honey. Honey is your food, your chakra food. Studies have shown it to be effective in warding off bacterial and viral infections. Yeah. Caveat, not too much, because it is sugar and we don't want to add into inflammation, but a little bit here and there. And then make sure that you're not giving it to infants, children under the age of 1, because of possibilities for serious reaction. But for those of us who are older than 1, think about honey as your chakra food. And your chakra move, we've mentioned this before, the cat and the cow pose from yoga. And, that's just putting yourself on all 4s and then alternately rounding the back and then letting the belly drop. We're going to add a little something onto that, and that's called lion's face, or lion. And that is where you stick your tongue out like a lion, make your eyes super wide. I like to see if I can take the tip of my tongue and touch my chin. Of course I can't, but that is activating all of the mechanisms that the throat chakra governs. The throat itself, you're going to be doing that with this, but also, there we did it. The tongue, the teeth, the entire mouth. So that's another good way to activate. And plus you can feel fierce, right? You can feel fierce.
Yeah. Own it. Own your fierceness. Yeah.
Own your truth. Yeah. So the cat cow pose with a lion's breath. As always, everyone, I invite you to sign up for a Vibrant for Life breakthrough session. It's a 30-minute complimentary opportunity for us to get to know each other, for me to help you discover what it is specifically that you want to bring in to create that vibrant life where you feel as though you're looking and that you look and feel as though you're aging backwards. And then perhaps I can help you identify what's in your way. So very easy to sign up for that. Just go to my website, which is thelivingyou, and that's the letter U.com, thelivingyou.com. Sign up for your free Vibrant for Life breakthrough session. There's so much to say, but I think really we've just come to the end. I do invite you to check out the free gift that I have out on Vibrant, on my Vibrantly Living You website, thelivingyou.com. And just remember that it is, it's possible to look and feel as though you are aging backwards. Got all kinds of inspiration. I also invite you to join my Vibrantly Yours Facebook group, private group. That's the one thing I forgot to mention. And we're actually I'm gonna put a survey out to have a slight little name change, and I'm gonna get that survey out today. So if you're not a member of Vibrantly Yours, then jump in there so you can help us decide the extra tag that we're going to put onto the name. And if you are part of Vibrantly Yours, then same thing. We want to really make this stick for you. Okay. I'm going on and on because I just don't want to say goodbye. But it's
we are now doing an all-day live stream. Are you ready?
Indeed, indeed. Junie, once again, thank you so much for being here with us. And everybody else, we'll catch you another time on The Vibe. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.